So much for betting on a sure thing. The Reserve Bank surprised the market with a quarter-point rise, taking the cash rate to 4.75%. Having sat on its hands for the past 6 months, the RBA has launched a preemptive strike on inflation, which could be triggered by the resources boom. Less than an hour later, the Commonwealth Bank became the first of the Big Four lenders to lift rates, almost doubling the Reserve Bank's move. Here's Simon Palin.
With just 30 minutes till the start of the Melbourne Cup, tension was mounting. This was about borrowing costs, not betting costs, and no change in interest rates was the hot favourite.
Up 25.
But even after last week's lower than expected inflation reading, the Reserve Bank lifted interest rates to 4.75%.
The view is that every other time the Australian economy has had a resources boom, they've had trouble containing inflation, and so they wanted to be preemptive to avoid that again.
In a statement, the RBA governor said the economy is now subject to a large expansionary shock from the high terms of trade, and that the balance of risks had shifted to the point where an early modest tightening of monetary policy was prudent. But around the country, businesses like this Sydney butchery will feel the interest rate sting.
No, I'm really unhappy about the fact that it's gone up. That's not very good at all for us.
Particularly in the run-up to the Christmas period, where that may well have an effect in the area of retail trade in particular.
This spells disastrous results at a Christmas time when we really needed a big Christmas from the Australian economy.
Homeowners will notice the interest rate pain too. The hike will add around $46 a month to a typical repayment on a $300,000 25-year loan.
I think retail and housing in particular needs some momentum.
A lot of people won't have that extra cash that they'll need to put in towards their mortgages, so I think it'll be a negative for us.
Attention now turns to if, when and by how much the big retail banks will lift their interest rates. They're under even more pressure than normal, this time from both sides of politics, to avoid lifting their rates independently of the Reserve Bank.
So what may well seem to be an official rate increase of 25 basis points could in fact turn into a 40 basis point rate increase, and that certainly would be a major concern to business.
Already the big banks have started lifting their rates. Less than an hour after the Reserve Bank's decision, the Commonwealth Bank upped its standard variable mortgage rate by 0.45%, almost double the cash rate rise. Economists say the only good news is that official interest rates aren't expected to go up again till next year.